What happened while we were away, brought to you by Doubling Down.
And there's a certain degree of entitlement. I think people who are, in the religious groups like that, it's not the type of Christianity that I practice, but I think that they're entitled, and that entitlement comes from a supremacy, a white supremacy. And they think that this country was built for them, that it is a Christian country, when actually we left England because we wanted religious freedom. It's religious freedom, but only if you're a Christian and only if you're a white male.
Yep, that is former CNN anchor Don Lemon's retrospection over his involvement with that mob of lefties storming that church in the Twin Cities over the weekend. U.S. Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights Harmy Dillon told Benny Johnson yesterday,
"We will pursue charges in this case. I see various crimes that have occurred. Exactly what they are, I'm not going to flag, but the FACE Act has been mentioned as one of the predicates there. In other cases, the Biden DOJ used the Klan Act conspiracy charges tacked on to the FACE Act in the case of protests outside abortion clinics to bring much longer sentences. So there are a number of tools available to us. Who funded this? What else? What other crimes may have occurred? Was there a use of the wires or the mails in preparing for this event? Did anyone cross state lines to do this? All of those are potential predicates for additional federal charges."
Minnesota Governor Tim Walz released, I guess you could call this a statement in the aftermath of that church incident. Quote, "The governor has repeatedly and unequivocally urged protesters to do so peacefully. While people have a right to speak out, he in no way supports interrupting a place of worship," end quote. We also now know one of the quote-unquote activists who derailed that church service did the exact same thing, targeting Pete Hegseth's church in Washington, D.C. not that long ago. Overnight, President Trump posted on Truth Social, quote, "Just watched the footage of the church raid in Minnesota by the agitators and insurrectionists. These people are professionals. No person acts the way they did. They're highly trained to scream, rant, and rave like lunatics in a certain manner, just like they are doing. They are troublemakers who should be thrown in jail or thrown out of the country. The first to go should be Walz and fake sleazebag Ilhan Omar, who is supposedly worth over $30 million, even though she's never had anything but a government job. Investigate these corrupt politicians and do it now," end quote. Also, in overnight escapades on Truth Social, Trump posted private texts from different European officials, including French President Emmanuel Macron. The topic? Greenland. Trump heads to Davos this week, where Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent already is, hitting the Europeans' mind-numbing energy policies.
That we have Europe buying Russian oil still, 4 years later, they are financing the war against themselves.
In Virginia, Democrats have a trifecta, and they're getting down to brass tacks. New Governor Abigail Spanberger's first executive action was the rollback of former Governor Glenn Youngkin's action, directing the state to comply with deportation efforts. Democrats have already passed slanted redistricting. They've introduced a bill that bans fair and transparent elections, introduced a bill that eliminates mandatory minimum sentencing for rape, manslaughter, assaulting law enforcement, possession and distribution of child pornography, and repeat violent felonies, and a number of other actions Democrats are trying to get done just in the first few days because they're evil. Quick aside, look who's on the cover of New York Times Magazine. For those of you listening, you probably already know. Yes, you can guess. Yep, it's Marjorie Taylor Greene. And now for something completely different. The Chinese released data on the total number of births in that country last year. The number is 7.92 million births. As Penn economics professor Jesus Fernandez Villaverde pointed out, China had fewer births last year than it did in 1776. And finally, the Indiana Hoosiers are on top of the college football mountain, a veritable rags to riches story straight out of a Disney movie, complete with their plucky formerly two-star recruit quarterback, Heisman winner, scoring what ended up being the deciding touchdown on an incredible run in front of his mom, who has MS. After the game, Fernando Mendoza spoke.
That's one thing about our team. We're always going to put all on the line. And, I want to give all the glory and thanks to God there. My offensive lineman blocked perfectly, and we're able to execute the team towards a common goal, have the Indiana Hoosier synergy to score, and then give our team a chance to win the game.
How did you get it in there, though? You had to go airborne, Fernando.
I had to go airborne, and I'll die for my team. Whatever they need me to do, they need me to take, shots in the front and the back, whatever it is, I'm going to die for my team out there.
And that's what happened while we were away.